Hello and welcome to the Minimum Competence episode for Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. I'm your host for today, Andrew Leahy, an assistant teaching professor of law at Drexel Klein School of Law. On today's episode, sentencing in the Trump assassination attempt case, Senate scrutiny of Netflix's Warner Brothers deal, and the DOJ's appeal in the Google search antitrust fight. Let's remember, Wednesdays are like Mondays, but put right in the middle of the week, and read today's legal news. On this day in legal history, February 4th, 1932, the United States Supreme Court decided Blockburger v. United States. That's 284 U.S. 299, a case that established an enduring rule in American criminal law known as the Blockburger test. This test is used to determine whether two offenses are sufficiently distinct to permit multiple punishments or prosecutions under the Double Jeopardy Clause of the Fifth Amendment. In the case, the defendant was charged with multiple violations of the Harrison Narcotics Act for selling morphine on different occasions. The legal question was whether he could be prosecuted separately for each sale and for selling without proper prescription and for selling not in the original stamped package, even if these all occurred during the same transaction. The court held that each offense requires proof of a fact the other does not. If that's the case, then they are distinct for double jeopardy purposes. This became the same elements test, sometimes called the Blockburger test, and it remains a key tool for analyzing double jeopardy claims today. Notably, the test doesn't focus on whether the charges arise from the same conduct or transaction, but on whether each statutory provision requires proof of a fact which the other does not. This legal principle has been cited in thousands of cases, and it continues to shape how prosecutors and courts evaluate overlapping criminal charges. Ryan W. Routh, convicted of attempting to assassinate Donald Trump weeks before the 2024 presidential election, is scheduled for sentencing today. Prosecutors are seeking a life sentence, citing months of planning, the use of disguises and multiple cell phones, and Routh's readiness to kill others to carry out the plot. He was arrested near Trump's West Palm Beach golf course in September of 2024 after fleeing the scene and leaving behind a rifle and gear resembling body armor. At trial, Routh represented himself, making erratic statements and offering little in the way of a legal defense. He was convicted of 5 charges, including attempted assassination and illegal firearm possession. Routh claims he did not intend to kill Trump and has requested a 27-year sentence along with psychological treatment. The incident was the second assassination attempt on Trump during the campaign season. Prosecutors emphasized that Routh's actions could have succeeded had it not been for the Secret Service's intervention. Following the verdict, Routh attempted to stab himself with a pen in court and had to be restrained. Trump praised the conviction, calling Routh an evil man with an evil intention. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos faced sharp questioning from U.S. senators over the company's proposed $82.7 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery, a deal that could reshape the streaming and entertainment landscape. At a Senate antitrust hearing led by Republican Mike Lee, lawmakers from both parties expressed concern that the merger could reduce competition, limit job opportunities for entertainment workers, and reduce content diversity. Lee warned the deal might let Netflix dominate streaming and steer major Warner Brothers franchises away from theaters or rivals. Sarandos defended Netflix's position, citing competition from platforms like YouTube, though senators noted YouTube's ad-based model differs from subscription services. The Department of Justice is currently reviewing the merger alongside a competing bid from Paramount Skydance. Paramount's proposal faces financing challenges, and its CEO, David Ellison, has ties to Donald Trump, raising some political questions. Democratic Senator Cory Booker questioned Sarandos on whether Trump would influence the deal's approval, a notion Sarandos said he couldn't confirm. Sarandos argued that all viewing time on television is in direct competition, but senators remain skeptical of Netflix's claims that its competition includes ad-supported platforms like YouTube. The hearing reflects broader unease about consolidation in streaming, and the DOJ's decision will ultimately shape the industry's direction. The U.S. Department of Justice and a majority of state attorneys general are appealing a major antitrust ruling in the case against Google over its dominance in the online search market. Although a federal judge previously determined that Google held a monopoly, he declined to impose significant structural remedies, such as requiring Google to sell its Chrome browser or stop paying Apple to make Google the default search engine on Apple devices. The government's appeal is expected to target this leniency. Google is also appealing the ruling and has requested a delay in compliance with the judge's order to share certain data with competitors while the appeals process is ongoing. The case, originally filed in 2020, marks one of the most significant antitrust challenges against a tech company in decades. The court noted that newer players like OpenAI have recently emerged, potentially altering the competitive landscape. The ruling was widely viewed as a partial win for Google, frustrating regulators who had hoped for broader changes to curb the company's influence in digital advertising and search. The appeal signals continued government efforts to pursue more aggressive antitrust enforcement in the tech sector. And with that, and as always, I thank you so much for listening to Minimum Competence, your daily news podcast for lawyers. If you're looking for more than Minimum Competence, links to further reading on all the topics touched on today are in the show notes. And reviews go a long way towards helping new listeners to find our show. If you have a moment, leave a rating or review on your podcast player. We'd sure appreciate it. And if you know someone that might be interested in a story we cover, consider sending them the episode. But remember, nothing here should be construed as legal advice because it is certainly never that. Minimum Competence is available at minimumcomp.com and wherever it is you get your finely crafted podcasts. If you haven't checked out the website in a while, give it a look. There are complete transcripts and resources for each episode and its corresponding segments, as well as an opportunity to receive new episodes in email, newsletter, form. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and until then, remember, you and only you are accountable for what you extend and give to others.